just 2 miles apart, but 20 hours away in time. This isn't science fiction, it's real. Right in the middle of the Bering Strait, two tiny islands sit frozen in time. Big Diomede belongs to Russia, Little Diomede belongs to the United States. They're so close, you could almost shout across. And yet, for over 70 years, no one is allowed to cross. Families have been separated, the sea is silent, and the Cold War, it never truly ended here. This isn't just a line on the map, it's a no man's land of secrets, soldiers, and stories that were never supposed to be told. And today, we're going there. If you love uncovering hidden places and forgotten history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a story that the world tried to bury. They watch, we watch. On Little Diomede, every resident lives with their eyes on the horizon, because just 2 miles away, on Big Diomede, armed soldiers are doing the same. Approach too close, and warning shots echo across the frozen sea. Fishermen have been yelled at, tracked, threatened. It's not just tension, it's a standoff. Some say it feels like staring down a .50 caliber standoff across the ice. But it wasn't always like this. In the depths of winter, the Bering Strait used to freeze into a bridge of solid ice, thick enough to walk across. Between 15,000 and 18,000 years ago, the first humans used this frozen gateway, known as Beringia, to enter North America. Back then, ocean levels were lower, glaciers swallowed much of the world's water, and Alaska was still Russian land. People traded fur, shared stories, and crossed freely. Even after the US purchased Alaska in 1867, the connection stayed alive, until the Cold War iced everything over. Suddenly, an invisible line divided families. "My grandmother is over there," one man says, "but we can't cross, not even to say hello. The ice remains, and so does the silence." In 1948, the ice curtain came down. With the Cold War heating up, Russia forcibly relocated every last resident off Big Diomede, leaving only a military outpost behind. Families who had once crossed freely were now split in silence. Some never saw each other again. Today, all 80 residents of Little Diomede still have families somewhere across the water, but the border remains closed. No meetings, no letters, just distance and the slow erosion of memory. Little Diomede, though part of the US, feels like a forgotten outpost. There are no hospitals, no restaurants, no hotels, no roads, no runway. And the only way in or out is by helicopter, weather permitting. No US governor has ever visited, and yet, ironically, plans to unite Russia and America have existed for over a century. In 1890, Colorado's Governor William Gilpin proposed a global railroad that would connect the 5 continents, with a bridge right here over the Bering Strait. A vision of steel and steam above an ocean that now divides lives. But in this place, dreams freeze faster than they can be built. In the early 1900s, as gold fever gripped Alaska, Russian leaders feared what a bridge might bring: a surge of American miners, a quiet invasion, not of armies, but of ambition. And they may have been right. As Theodore Roosevelt pushed for a railroad across the Bering Strait, the idea was quietly shelved. What began as a dream froze over. But the Arctic is melting now, and that changes everything. In September 2020, former US President Donald Trump approved a 1,600-mile rail project connecting Delta Junction, Alaska, to Fort McMurray, Canada. Construction began immediately. The route snakes through the heart of Alaska, crosses into the Yukon, and dives deep into Alberta, designed to carry passengers, pipelines, sulfur, and shipping containers. It's not just about freight, it's about speed and survival. With Arctic sea routes becoming less reliable and tensions with Russia rising, control over land-based infrastructure could redefine global trade. But the Alaska-Canada rail alone isn't enough, which is why world leaders are quietly revisiting the ultimate vision: a transcontinental railroad, a 5,000-mile steel artery stretching from Paris to Beijing, and crossing the Bering Strait through a 60-mile tunnel beneath the Diomede Islands. If built, it would be the longest and most ambitious rail system in human history. Faster than cargo ships, cleaner than airplanes. A once-forgotten dream, now rising from the frost. The question is no longer, can we build it? It's, will we be ready before someone else gets there first? The vision is bold, and the numbers are staggering. Over 5,000 miles of steel, a 60-mile tunnel beneath the Bering Strait, running directly under the Diomede Islands. This is the Intercontinental Railway, a single line connecting Paris, Istanbul, and Berlin to the heart of East Asia, and then across the Arctic floor into North America. If completed, Alaska would no longer be a remote frontier, it would become the beating heart of global commerce. Why? Because more cargo moves along the Pacific Ocean each year than anywhere else on Earth. And while cargo ships crawl at just 27 miles per hour, these new ICR trains are designed to reach speeds of up to 80 miles per hour. Faster, cleaner, and in an age of climate urgency, crucial. Still, some critics argue, wouldn't a northern route be too long? But that's forgetting one fundamental truth. The Earth is round. The shortest distance from the US to China isn't across the Pacific, it's over the Arctic. That's why flights from America to Asia arc north, over Alaska, then sweep back down. A train, following that curve, would be traveling the shortest path. The estimated cost? Just over $100 billion. But this wouldn't be funded by one nation. The US, Canada, Russia, China, even Europe would share the weight. Because this isn't just a railroad, it's a once-in-a-century chance to reconnect continents and to rewrite the very map we live by. $100 billion. That's the cost of connection. But if this railway lasts 100, even 200 years, was it ever really expensive? Meetings are already underway. Anchorage, Nome, world leaders, engineers, economists, listening. But perhaps the most important voices are the ones that have gone unheard for decades. The native families who've lived in isolation, like the 80 residents of Little Diomede, surrounded by ice, cut off from the modern world. No internet, no hospitals, no runways, only helicopters when the weather allows. For them, this railroad isn't just a symbol of global trade, it's a lifeline, a promise that maybe finally they won't be left behind. Because at its core, this story isn't about steel tracks or freight speeds. It's about a world that was once divided by ice, daring to believe it could be stitched back together. But as nations debate and temperatures rise, the window is closing. So we ask, will the world build the future before the ice fully melts? Or will this remain just another frozen dream? And if you feel that pull to keep searching, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a step in our journey to uncover what still hides on this earth. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.